Hey buddy, now don't go blind because I'm using a white towel instead of the standard black one. Let's get the background information out of the way. Today we're going to use a 5-watt slug in reverse, 5,000 watt slug going forward in PEP, going into the Bird 10,000 watt dummy mode, and a Galaxy 66. And we're going to use a 2x8, which I built for Marcos here about a month and a half ago. Marcos got the box, worked perfectly for him. He hooked it up to his fatboy power supply. It ran for about a week and a half, and the power supply quit. Completely gave out. So he sent me the power supply and the amplifier, minus the transformers, because he wanted me to upgrade the power supply. So, Marcos, I'm here to tell you I pulled this out of the box, hooked it up to the power supply, and it works flawlessly. I've bench tested it 3 different ways. This box works perfect. So we're not going to touch this thing. The variable is going to stay in the same place. On-off switch is going to stay in the on position. The sideband switch is going to stay on this sideband position. We're going to focus our attention over here on this power supply. I don't know what they had it rated for when it left here or when you bought it, but I know what I'm rating it for when it leaves here. That pulls 135 amps. We are nowhere near the bottom of this power supply's ability to put out current. This is a non-regulated linear power supply. I went in here. I want to get in here so you guys can see the numbers. I went in here and I installed a brand new EPD transformer. This runs on 110 house current, guys. The way Marcos has got it wired up though is for 220, which is smart. So we're only utilizing one leg of the 220. So that means this sucker has got a huge well that it can drink from. And let's look at the tap settings. On this particular transformer, when I had them design this transformer for my use, I had them set it up so it had multiple voltage input taps. It's labeled right here on the top. Right now we've got it set in the 120 volt position. So it means underneath the load this will drop to roughly about 14 volts. That's post rectification voltage, by the way. So if you want to increase your voltage, you attach this little yellow wire right here. You hook it up right here, Marcos. I'm not going to show you how to do that here in just a minute. These transformers are so efficient and so non-power hungry and so power output potential, it's going to blow your mind. And this little video is going to demonstrate that. And Marcos, instead of using those 5,000, part number is 5000-C7 something or other, the 50 amp bridge diodes, little brick diodes, which I don't use those anymore. You won't see those in anything unless it's something small like 10 or 15 amp supply. I use actual stud diodes. Those are 100 amp stud diodes. Okay? Now I took your heat sink that you supplied, Marcos, and I split it up into 4 extra pieces. So each stud diode's got its own ginormous heat sink that it's attached to. I got rid of all the little tiny wire and replaced it with one big flat blade, and all the other little tiny leads that they had set up going from each one of the little brick rectifiers directly to the stud. Everything is soldered connected. All the joints are soldered. Okay, let's go down here and flick this on. Now the resting current for this is just below 20 volts. You'll see demonstrated over here on the fluke that the output voltage is 19.5 floating. So we're going to go ahead and key the 2x8, throw about an 800 watt dead mall. Before we get carried away, let me grab my thermal gun. Let me demonstrate this to you. Ambient air temperature is 77, 78, 80 degrees, 80 degrees, 80 degrees. It's going to be important. Watch. So we drop to 14 volts roughly. 800 watt dead key, right? Check this out. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. The voltage increases to roughly 15 volts. Most power supplies, when you key it, they'll fall, and then when you start to modulate, it'll fall even further because it goes underneath a heavier amp load. Watch the power output on this thing. Hello, audio. 2100 watts, right? So we key it, voltage drops, swings forward. We step back so we got a perspective shot. I'll focus in on the bird meters. Hello, audio. Now we just put this thing under a little bit of a load. Let's see how warm stuff is. Ambient air, 78. Transformer 82, 79, 80, 82, 83. The hottest point is on the distribution bar in the whole lamp. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate to you the use of being able to hook this up, what the end results are, and what overall performance difference there is by going to the higher tap. So give me just a second and we'll hook that up. Okay, so we disconnected the black lead and we hooked up our yellow lead. Now our resting voltage is 21.6 volts. So it's gone up 2 volts. It's also displayed on the front accurately. Watch this. Hello, audio. Yeah, 16.5 volts stable. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. That's 2400 watts out of a 2x8 running off my built power supply and a Fatboy case. Marcos, this thing's set, buddy. When you get it, it's going to be in this position right here. The black lead's going to be hooked up. The yellow lead's going to be covered up with this piece of heat shrink. It's going to be coiled up nice and neat and sitting right here for you if you ever want to go ahead and step it up just a little bit. This thing's full of Toshibas. I strongly suggest you run it at the 14-15 volt setting, not at the 16, 15.5, 17 volt setting. I'll give you a call tonight, brother. My name is BBI. Without a doubt, I am one of the biggest mud ducks, or am the biggest mud duck in Idaho. Ain't no shame to this mud duck's game, and I got a lot of pride in the things that I build. I appreciate all the projects that everybody sent me from all over the world to work on. Can't do it without you. Bump bump, come check us out, www.bbiamps.com. Humbly, I said I see you, bye. Oh, hey Marcos, before I get, buddy, back down here on the back of the power supply, you see those heat sinks back there? You can never let anything metal ever fall in there or touch the back of those heat sinks, because they're hot. So just keep all your metal away from coax connectors and that kind of stuff. You'll be good to go. And the whole point behind using the thermal gun is that you can put a tremendous amount of load on this thing and it still doesn't get hot. But it's got fans. All right, buddy, I see you. Bye.